How's everybody doing? Hey, Jimmy, you're here just in time. Taylor, you're back.
Hey, I am.
I presume you're behind that facade you give us there.
I am here. Yes.
One day you're going to let our viewers see who their
I
partner
am.
is.
I think we already talked about this. I think we're doing it after Thanksgiving, like right
Sounds
before my
good. The
birthday.
guy behind the curtain. It's really
Yeah.
a girl. All right, folks, we are going to jump into some hot OTC penny stocks here. We've got some people who've already brought me a few. I thank you for that, folks. I always have some backups just in case. Kishara got here nice and early. Who we got here? Arena Layden, Chris McGinnis. Chris is really interested in DWAC. I don't care if you talk about those not penny stocks over there, but we're not going to take a look at them. So don't take any offense to that. But you feel free to chat away about those. Who else is here? Jesus Hernandez. We might have a chance to look at both of yours. And Velmore. Good to see you, Velmore. All right, folks, can you take a look at Stahl? We may be able to do that. Taylor and I were talking about the fact that we don't have to stop at 5 o'clock, folks. There's nothing to say we can't go 24 hours if we wanted to. So we're just going to go for a little while. If you want to hang around after 5 or catch up with the recording later, that's great too. So let's just jump on into this. First one we're going to take a look at here. Are we all set up? You want to take care of the buttons for me there, Taylor?
Oh, sure. Yeah, sorry about
I'm up
that.
now, but
Yeah, I see
just
it.
so we're
Yeah,
on the
my
same
bad.
page.
Yeah, sure.
Gotcha.
I got you.
All right, so now let me get over there. First one we're going to take a look at, not VPLM. That was one of my backups just in case. Now keep in mind, folks, we aren't doing deep dives here. I want to get to more than 6 stocks. If we cover 6 in an hour, that's 5 minutes of me looking at info, 5 minutes of charting. We're on to the next one. I give you anything less than that, it's really not worth it, right? So we're not going to rush through these, but when we're talking about the general information, we're just going to kind of blur through it here. And we're going to get most of our information off of the otcmarkets.com website. Now, this is a pretty good site. They've got a lot of information. Most of it's updated. It's not exhaustive. I'm not guarantee we're going to see everything. So don't just rely on what we look at here. Always do your own DD behind us. So first one we're going to take a look at is INTZ. And this one comes from Kashara. She is at 41 cents right now. Looks like she broke even today. Let me refresh this, see if she did. Yep, she broke even. I can't tell what market she's on from this vantage point. I keep getting no tier when they're on the NASDAQ, so I'm going to presume this is on the NASDAQ. I could be wrong. So what does this company do? Intrusion is a global provider of entity identification, high-speed data mining, cybercrime, and advanced persistent threat detection. So cybersecurity is what we're talking about. All right, let's get some basic information because I see I got a lot of windows opened up here, and we're going to just blur through these because they do have a lot of catalysts right now. What was the relative volume around the company today? For all those catalysts, she's lost about 2/3 of her volume, dropping from 2.3 million down to 737,000. Share structure, we got 23 million outstanding. We don't know what the float is. It's going to be under 23 million. Could be a lot less than 23 million. Market cap for the company, 9.4 million. Financials for INTZ, they dropped just before COVID. They were doing 13 million, lost half of that through COVID. And right now they're at about 7.5 million. That was at the end of 2022. And they're taking home gains. They got profits. They're in the black. Quarterlies, they've been falling. We're roughly 1.4 million for the last 3 quarters, and still they're taking home gains. Balance sheet, they got 300,000 in the bank. All these numbers we're looking at on these charts, there's 3 zeros behind them. So if I was confusing you there, I'm sorry. So that's $300,000 in the bank, 4.6 million in assets, lots of liabilities, about 15 million, which puts us in deficit for stockholder equity. You ever want to figure out what the price of a stock is? You take that number right there and you multiply it. You divide it by the share count over here. You take that equity number and you divide it by that. And that is what the price of the stock should be. That is the equity value of the share of stock. Let's see if we got, we do have information now. I know exactly where we're going. So we're jumping into the news. This is just October's news to now. Intrusion was awarded $5 million multi-year agreement with a large telecommunication firm. $5 million, 5-year contract. Intrusion rises as 10% owner buys more shares. Now this came from Seeking Alpha. There's another one up here. Intrusion's 10% owner discloses purchase stake worth $193,000. That came from Seeking Alpha. My point, the company isn't putting out any news about this. And I want to point it out because it's a lot more than what they're saying right here. In November, the company announced a security purchase agreement through a private offering. You'll see that in this news right here. They had 2.4 million come in. I've already talked about that one. They had 2.4 million come in from big investors. That didn't come from us. They didn't have to put any more shares on the market. They had that $5 million agreement for 5 years. That just happened. And then you've got all these Form 4s. And that's what they're telling you. An insider has been buying up. No, not just one insider, the insiders. All right, right up here, this is the name of the person. Every single one of these is a different person. All of them. Oh, I just closed one of them. Didn't mean to do that. And if you look at how many shares they are buying, right there, we have 83,000 shares. This was purchased on the 8th of November. 83,000 were acquired at that price. Looking at each one of these, 364,000 shares. That is by a director. There's 58,000 shares by a director. And these are all different people. 28,000 shares by a director. I know the CTFO just bought a bunch. I think he's the one I clicked off by accident. There's another 333,000 shares. I added them all up. It is just under 1 million shares have been bought in just the last week. You can't overlook that, folks. Everybody is buying at the same time. That's a cluster buy from insiders. They actually have pages that tell you this information, cluster buys, because these are telltale signs that something is going to happen. I don't think I have any more information here.
Was that one big piece of news? What you said something about October? Was that like around the 9th of October or the 10th that
Yes.
week?
Yeah, the $5 million deal was on the 10th.
Gotcha.
So there you go. We have private investors, money coming from outside into the company. That was November 10th. November 8th, you had all those insider buys the same day, 1 million shares. Now that's like $500,000 because it was about 58 cents. So you're talking $580,000 put into the company just in the last week. And then you got that 2.4 million here. So there's a lot of money that is just poured into the company. And we didn't take a look there. I do want to show you that. That was the one thing we didn't cover, was down here. Gross profit margin was 78% in the third quarter of 2023 compared to only 58% in 2022. It's up. Their revenues were 1.5 million. Now they did fall 0.7 million. But look here. Down here they tell us their operating expenses were 3.8 million, dropping from 5 million. So they just saved 1.2 million in expenses, though their revenues fell 0.7. My math says they're still up $500,000. So I don't see a problem here. Everything looks good. The numbers aren't perfect, but they've got a lot of catalysts. Their financials are nice and balanced. They're still growing. Their revenues are profitable. I like the company. I want to see the chart. What we got over there, Taylor?
Okay, so here it is. So this is the daily chart. This right here, this big green bar with the huge spike in volume, went from about 32 cents that day all the way up to about 61 cents. So
About
that was
100%.
yeah, that was a big day. And we had another one a few days actually. This I think that was last week. beginning of last week, and that might have been because of this earnings report. Maybe there was some buzz around that. It didn't turn out very well for them, but they haven't really had any positive earnings reports. So I guess that's kind of normal. Uh, anyway, I'm looking back. I wanted to just look at just what this has been doing just over the
Oh,
course of its life. This is the weekly chart. So we're kind of in that
yeah.
territory now where
Yep.
we're in this like, pickup zone. If
What it
you,
looks like the floor. Yeah, it looks like the
yeah,
floor.
This is
With
the entire chart from we're talking, 2001. So this is, over 20 years worth of data. And so you can see we're in this loading zone right
wow.
here at the
So
bottom
actually, probabilities, just looking at the probabilities, it should start coming up.
there.
This is where it lands before it takes off again.
Yeah, and that's been doing this been respecting that since 2002. Happened to 2006, 2008, 2012, 2017, and now we're here again.
That's a heck of a chart you got there, girl. 20 years. Wow.
Crazy, right? Yeah, I wanted to see that. Well, I went back and saw this part, and then I just decided to just keep looking. And I didn't see any stock splits or anything. Just these, reports. There wasn't any other, just earnings report. There were no stock splits, but they're going to have another earnings report coming up around the 12th of February. So, because they just released one.
Oh, right.
So the next one's gonna be in February, just FYI. It usually runs a little bit before earnings, so that's something to keep in mind. But
Mhm.
yeah, if you looked at that long-term chart, it is actually really interesting where this is right now, just based on historical data. And
It
this
looks
is
like it's trying to break out. I
it
mean,
is.
not
Yeah,
over the
it does.
200, but she is working her way up over the strong SMAs. Oh,
Getting
I
there.
like that.
Mhm.
That looked very sweet to me there.
Mhm. Yeah, it's kinda like a little flag here. It does look good. It does look like it's trying to reverse. We could use another catalyst or something to get this thing moving. That would be good. We did have a little bit more volume. I do think that was related to this. I mean, it could be, but anyway, yeah, I like this chart a lot, actually. I like where it is right now. I think this could be a good opportunity.
Yeah, I think she's set up to break out. That's the type of charts I look for right there. I want to break through
Mhm.
the 200, come
Yeah, I
back
love looking
down,
at this. This is
and then
just
work itself over the 200 after it's made that 200 level. So that
uh,
was looking tempting to me, and that right there,
this
that
is this
tells me that I need
long
to watch
term.
those stock.
Definitely. This is 20 years worth. This is amazing. Yeah, we're right there in that zone again. Yeah, so and there's no
What's
stock
she look
splits to
like
make this.
on the 5 minute or the 1 hour? Are we going to get any rush out of her? Is she actually looking like she wants to?
Let's see, the other thing was the 4 hours. So let me get down here. So this is the 1 hour.
All right.
Um, 1 hour doesn't look as great to me. Kind of look like I see some head and shoulders
She's sitting on
actions.
a strong support right now.
I do see that as a support, or it could be we might finish off the head and shoulders and come down all the way back down. But we did bounce off of this 200, so that's a good sign, a really good sign, because it was kind of resistance here and here. It was support back here as well, so that's a really good sign. This
Looks to
chart
me
is
like she's
this chart is
probably going to
great.
come back down to that 200 on the hourly chart.
Yeah, I mean, we had that several times. We had some resistance there, some support there. So we'll see if it doesn't. Yeah, it happened here too. This is a great chart. I really do love this chart. This has some potential for sure. Absolutely.
So put it on your watch list, folks.
Yep.
INTV. She's got a lot of catalysts. She's got a lot of cause to watch her, and the chart's at 20-year lows, I guess you could say. All right, let's jump on over to BLFR. I know that's me. I got to just click my button. It's not you. You're going, why isn't it working?
I'm like, okay.
If I don't activate it, it just don't come up. So we are now looking at not VPLM, BLFR. This was hot. We've been talking about it a lot. It seems like, what was it, last week or the week before? There was a lot of activity with this. Blue Fire Equipment Corporation. She's on the pink tier. She's current. She's got both those green ticks I am always telling you to look for, folks. These tell us there is validated information. Why is that important? Because it's a pink. Pinks have no validated information. That's what makes them so risky. Even the financials aren't validated. They're just numbers being handed off to us, and we got to figure out what they mean. This is validated by the OTC markets, an unbiased third party behind the scenes. It's the only information you're going to get with the pink. That's why I tell you to look for them. So they finished at 73 cents, and what? Another break-even day? No gains, no. I haven't seen the chart. Maybe she moved and landed right back where she started. So she broke even. So this company is involved with oil and gas. And here recently, they've made a lot of deals. We had one deal back on the 19th. Blue Fire acquires Screaming Eagle Partners, a cash flow positive family-owned business. On the 26th, the company entered into a binding letter of agreement with Resource Rock Exploration to increase oil production. And just a couple of days ago, about a week, the company reduces authorized common stock. They are bringing the authorized share count down. That is what they have in the bank, I guess you could say, what they can use for currency to make deals, for incentives, what they could put on as public offerings, make some more money for themselves. They tell us they're going to drop it immensely. Wow. They're dropping authorized share count from 2 billion shares down to 250 million. Let's take a look at that. They did. It's already happened. Authorized share count right there was 2 billion. And that can be scary because a lot of these pinks just keep dumping shares on the market and dumping shares on the market. They're making all kinds of money and they're taking all the shareholder value away. Now we at least know what our ceiling is. We knew what it was before, but it was in the sky. Now it's at least down on the ground somewhere, 250,000 or million. We've only got 34 million out. So they're not flooding the market. More than half of those are owned by the insiders, 19 million, which leaves us a float of about 15 million. That's not a bad float, not bad at all. Looking at the volume today, she dropped a little, maybe 30%, going from 368,000 shares down to 262,000 shares. Financials, did they actually have any money coming in? They had $22,000 at the end of 2022. Don't forget those 3 zeros. Does make a difference. Quarterlies, they had some money at the beginning of the year, but they were losing money doing it. So they quit making money and they're at least breaking even right now. They're not losing anything. Balance sheet, startup company. They got nothing in the bank. They've got no assets whatsoever. This is deja vu. We've been here before. I've seen this. 28,000 in liabilities. And shareholders are holding that right now. That debt is in our pockets. I don't think we have any new disclosures over here. 14th, notification of late filing. So they're going to be late filing their financials, is it? I do believe that's what it is. Yeah. Now I'm presuming with the net report 15 days, quarterly 5. There you go. By filing this form, we're going to be late. As long as you tell us, we'll give you 5 more days. So they got 5 more days to put their filings out for financials. Now here's the silly thing. A lot of these pinks, when they put this late filing out, the stock jumps. I don't know why. The stock jumps when you say we're going to be late. And then it comes out in 5 days, and maybe it is a good financial. Is it going to jump again? No, it's already been built in. It jumped on the late notice. So you got to be careful. You see a late notice come out and it runs, watch getting in. Even if they've had a good financial, it could still come down. Outside of that, we don't have any new information over here. So it is all about the new piece of news, them bringing down their shares, and they were increasing their, I think it was their preferred A shares, which brings in more money for them. I'm almost sure I saw that. Yeah, company is increasing their preferred A stock, increasing it from 50 million to 99 million. I don't see any prices here, but that's going to bring in more money for them. But that's got nothing to do with us. That's got to do with the insiders, hedge funds, institutions, things like that. So let's go take a look at BLFR's chart and see what she's done since the last time I saw it.
Is this
I
the
got you.
right tab? No, I was just making sure it was the right tab. Hey, stop it! I I knew you were gonna do that to me. Okay, so
Trying to help.
teasing you.
God.
So we looked at this 3 weeks ago on October 26th. So I'm glad I've been doing this when I can remember. So
So am I. I like that.
so yeah, it helps. So these lines were already here. All of these horizontal lines. I changed the color of these. So this floor right here, it looks like there's nothing, but these are like little tiny candles. This floor, this bottom orange line is at 0025. Okay, it was like that for a very very long time. Then let's see, I marked here. This this is at about 12 cents, and we got over that. There must have been something going on that I said that would be another support. Must have been back here, but I'm not gonna concentrate on what happened back there because we've already marked these lines.
Been
Anyway,
there,
this
done that.
yeah, so we already marked all that, so there's no use in saying that again. So this is at about 37.5 cents, and this was the day we looked at it, and I said that would be a really important resistance level. And this is the day we looked at it, and sure enough, it was until we finally broke through. It even came back down and
Tapped right on
had
top
the
of it.
support. Right? Yeah, this
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
four
yeah.
hour.
Good call there.
Yeah, so that worked out really great. We have not reached this next level though. I said this would be my next
It's
target.
looking
It
good
got
though.
it got pretty close within a couple of cents. So, yeah, that worked out just exactly like we thought it would.
Yeah,
So,
that's looking
just
sweet on the long
exactly.
run.
Mhm. I mean, it looks I mean, just this resistance worked out. Whoops. There it even touched here. So that was
How's
good.
the hourly looking?
Hourly, we got
Oh, that's not bad. She took a big drop, but she respected that 50. I mean, it was a rubber ball bounce. When underneath, like a rubber ball does under the water, comes right back up because it can't stay down there. And that's beautiful. That's a
yeah.
nice bounce. I like that.
Yep, it came right back up,
Quick.
and then we have, so we did cross over twice, eh, for the bearish side, but then we got the 2 goldens right there, golden
Yep.
crosses. These are very close, look how these meet, this the 21 and the 50, so these are now almost equal.
Yeah,
Actually,
they
yeah.
look like they're setting up nicely. You got to
Yeah,
get them in line sequentially.
yeah, the 21 is point six
I'm
three
liking that
seven
thing.
two, and the 50 is 0.6337. Very, very close. So yeah, that's what the hourly looks like. This chart is setting up nice. This is a good looking chart. I like this one too.
Yeah,
A
and I
lot.
think there's still catalysts coming. The deal, they've just got this stuff going. We haven't seen any revenues come out. We haven't seen a financial. We've got more news about what they're going to be doing. So I think this has a potential of continual growth as long as they feed us information. That's what the people need. You got to keep getting something to keep the fire burning, or else it goes out.
Yeah, this is the next level I'm looking at. This is 0.8598, so about 86 cents is what I'm looking for next. It's already reached a
Wow.
high of almost 83, so it's pretty close. It's almost
Remembering
there.
what you said, she was
Hmm.
down there at 002.
Yep, 0025, way
God,
down here, and
God,
that
what a
was
gain.
that wasn't even that long ago. I mean, we're talking middle of October of this year. Whoops,
So
sorry
let
about
me
that.
see. 1,000, 10,000,
Yeah, see here it is.
10, 20. So that's 40,000% gains roughly. I'm just grabbing a number in the rough ballpark, but that's about 40,000% gains there. I think that's right. Is it
Yeah,
40 or
like
40?
here's like the end of September.
Wow. And these are the
Well,
ones, we tell everybody take your gains. And I hate to tell people that because I would like to see stocks just grow for a while without tumbling back down.
we could even
But
call it 003, even 003, and that was in the middle of October, and now we're at a high of 83 cents. 83
wow,
cents from 003
what a
in
rip, folks.
in a month.
I hope somebody caught some of that. And you
Yeah,
can see
and
how
we
being
talked
patient.
about it. We talked about it 3 weeks ago when it was at around 30 cents, and now it's at 83
I
cents
think there's a lot of
or
speculation
70 something cents.
with the oil and energy market because it is all down right now, and we're expecting a turnaround in it. And this company is going to be there at the right time. They're already low because they're a startup company, so they're kind of in the same group as everybody else. So this could pop if we got some energy news or oil went up or something. This could definitely bounce.
Yeah, for
Definitely
sure.
worth keeping on your watch list. She has not disappointed for the last month, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm glad that that I marked that so I could see when we looked at it last, because that worked out exactly the way we thought. So nice. We'll move on to the next one.
Yes, ma'am. We are now going to take a look at who brought in JZZ. Is this Belmore? Yes, Belmore. Yes, Jesus. I do have UMGP lined up. I just wanted to make sure that we had time for everybody here. We are looking at JZZI, Jazz Technologies. She is at 0006, had 20% gains today on the pink tier and got those green ticks. All looks good. I did post news on this morning and then had some people actually look into it and got quite excited because of the news that came out. So what was the relative volume around the company today? Nice. Look at that increase. Jumping from 353,000 to over 12 million, almost 13 million. That's a lot of extra attention for a 000 sub penny stock. Let's see what we got for share structure. Oh, well, we've got a high float, high outstanding share count. They're both in the billions. Float probably about 3.5 billion. Outstanding share count 4.3 billion. They've got just under 5 billion authorized shares. And you would think with all them shares that have a higher market cap, but they're only at 2.1 billion at that itty bitty price. Well, let's see what we have for financials. Really? Well, that's surprising. They've actually got revenues coming in. 114,000 at the end of March of 2023, and they were taking in profits. That's not a bad thing for a triple penny stock. Well, look at here. Revenues are increasing. I'm liking this. 184,000 at the end of June, keeping profits. Let's see what that balance sheet looks like. Little money in the bank, 20,000. That's all their assets. They don't own anything. Oh, lots of deficit. Wow, 5.8 million. So we are holding 5.7 million, virtually 5.8 million deficit in shareholder equity. Ow. All right, let's take a look at that news. First thing, what does this company do? Well, I was going to read their old description, but it talked about apps and media and stuff like that. So I'm over here reading the most recent news press. This is what they say now. Jazz Technologies is a diversified company engaged in several business sectors. Its newly launched real estate development division is engaged in acquiring, developing, and operating multifamily mixed-use, commercial, and residential real estate, vacation rentals, and RV resorts, and housing development projects. That's a whole big difference. Now, they've got news here. As a matter of fact, this is what they said in their old description. Its active lifestyle digital media business includes online media and apps, content creation, and digital marketing targeted to active adults like me, who are gray-haired and older. So they're still doing that. They've now added something else to it, and we've got a piece of news here, but I wanted you to see this is not the only piece of news about real estate. We've got news all the way back here in January. Jazz Technology projects 5.5 million in revenue from planned regional real estate development in South Carolina. And I see more going back. There's a lot more news here about real estate. Then we've got two pieces of news here. Another one, this is from January. They are involved with a 9.9 acre plan development for 50 unit residential project. I don't know what's going on with that. They don't have any more news here. And then one piece of news since January. This one came out just, was this today? It was today. Acquires Portfolio Partners, Inc. and its subsidiary Travel Zen, the entire premium resort vacation rental portfolio. Now, I found this kind of interesting. I had to read it twice. It's a strange business. It sounds to me like they own timeshares, but not the property. just the timeshares. They got a whole bunch of weekly timeshares that they can rent out and make good money on. The company has acquired Portfolio Partners, a Florida corporation, and their wholly owned subsidiary, Travel Zen. The company got 100% of it. The company owns over 60 deeded vacation rental timeshare weeks, including spring break weeks in some of the most sought after resorts in Valley Valley, Colorado, a ski resort area. And they talk about other areas that they've got property timeshare weeklies in as well. This produces an extremely high profit margin, ranging from 50% for wholesale to 100% on retail bookings. The former Weinstraub is the former CEO of Swifty Car Wash. Their CEO has a success record here. So if the idea seems a bit strange, well, you've got someone behind it who's had strange ideas succeed before. The average timeshare in 2022 was 27 to 30,000 and continues to grow year over year. Ooh, that's a lot of money. Let's see if there's anything else we got here. Disclosures. Not a single disclosure. Again, we have a late filing here. They're going to be late on their financials. They put this out on the 14th. This is going to give them 5 days. They've got to have it out by the, the 19th. What happens if they don't? Well, they get slapped by the whatever market they're on. This is the OTC. And they get warned that they got to get it immediately. It's not like they get taken off the market immediately, but they get warned immediately. And sometimes you get a badge over here. They'll just say delinquent filing or something like that, which doesn't look good. So we don't want to see that. Outside of that, I don't think we had anything else to look at but the charts. So let's go take a look at JZZI.
Oh, whoops. I'm on the wrong thing. Okay. So I tried to make these a little bit easier to see where these values are since it's kind of barcodey. So this is from last December of 2022. So starting from here on, we're looking at like February on. This is the daily chart. So down here is looks like 0002, and then this dotted line is 0003, 4, 5, 6, which is where it is now. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there's where we are. So the floor for a while was the 0002, and then it kind of barcoded between that and 0003, got up to 0004, and now we did wick all the way up to 0008 today and back down to 0006 right now. So we have some potential, especially with volume, but we need some kind of another catalyst or something to get this really moving. Otherwise, when there's no volume, it just
It
stays.
looks like it's moving right now, boy.
It is right now for whatever that
Look at
news
all of
was.
that.
That was
That's a
from
strong
today.
move. I
Right.
mean, the last week looks strong.
Yeah, so that started, let's see, this is the 4 hour.
Now you
So
got the
since
Heikenachis on, don't you?
I do.
Good, good.
Yeah.
So it's not because there's no middle ground between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and
Yeah.
4. Not
See,
at the 000.
this is regular candles. I had these. That's Hakanashi.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it finally broke out of this. That was just, and that's been going on since September. That 0004, it finally broke out of that, and that's why it was able to get through that today, along with the volume, of course. That was today that happened. Whatever the news was, there was a little bit more yesterday, but there was a ton today. So that was all today.
Yeah,
Really
it's the
nice
most
move.
volume she's had in a long time. People are happy to
Mhm.
see their 000 stock with real news.
Mhm.
It's a real catalyst.
Yeah. So here's the hourly. Looks about the same. Just been barcoding up until like, yeah, like you said last week. And there we are. That's what the 1 hour
It's
looks
worth
like.
a watch. 000 stocks. I normally don't look at them until they at least hit 0005 because they're like hard beans. They take a long time to boil before they get soft. And normally, as a day trader, I don't have that much time.
Mhm.
These are good stocks if you have faith in a company that it could pop. maybe a tight squeeze, I don't know, and you're holding it. You're getting them super duper cheap, and you're just waiting for a pop. You're not going to hold it for 10 years. You're just waiting for that pop of 1,000% to go from 0003 to 003. That ain't a big move, but it's a lot of gains.
Yeah, percentage wise, yeah, and it's all about percentage. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. You know, I see this comment here, BKKT. I'm thinking this is the same stock so many people keep asking me to look at, and they keep asking me to look at it for the same reason, one world currency. Now, first off, I've looked around. I'm not seeing a whole lot of one world currency, but my problem is the governments can't get a one world currency. How is any company going to do it? I just kind of balk at the idea that any company thinks they've got, if Bitcoin isn't going to be the one world currency, there isn't going to be one unless the Antichrist comes here soon. I don't mean to touch on to that. I'm just saying. So that's the only reason I haven't looked at BKKT. If people would quit talking about this one world currency, because I'm not going to preach that. It just sounds ridiculous to me that any company can have the power to create a one world currency. Bitcoin is the closest I can see to a one world currency. We're all using it. We all have agreed on a value on it, and nobody controls it. That's as close as I can see it. All right, nothing personal. I appreciate you bringing it up because a lot of people have. Hello, Sticky Man. Good to see you here, buddy. Howdy, howdy to you too. All right, we're going to jump on over. No, not VPLM. How many times I tell you that, folks? We're coming over to UMGP, Universal Media Group. Finished today at 38 cents, up a little over 4%. And she too is on the pink tier. Got those green ticks. I'm feeling better about her already. I don't know anything about this stock. Since I don't know anything, let's find out what she does. Universal Media Group is a publicly traded digital media production company. Universal creates an eclectic array of content, including national television network celebrity programming, streaming financial news, and opinion shows. The company will be pursuing strategic business investments, partnerships, and acquisitions. All right, let's get some general information here. I know they've got some real good news right now. Looking at her relative volume, well, she's jumped about 450% today. They're not big numbers, 26,000 to over 100,000, but it is a big increase. Share structure, well, that's not bad. I was looking at the authorized shares. No, outstanding is only 26 million. Insiders have the majority of those, 21 million. They gave us a low float. We got a float here of 5.3 million. How exciting is that? I like that. Financials for the company. At the end of 2020, well, April 2023 is their fiscal year end. They had $25,000. Being a digital company, they don't have to package anything, manufacture anything, mail anything. It's free. So they get to keep every dollar they make, $25,000. But they're not making any money right now. Where's the money? Where'd it go? All right, let's see what we got on the balance sheet. We got some money in the bank, about 54,000. Some assets, 2 million. More liabilities, 3 million, which gives us, the shareholders, the deficit. This keeps that price down. We're $1 million in the hole right now. All right, let's see what we got for catalysts. Looking at news, we got lots of news here. I have gone back here. This news right there is in February. Now, there's lots of news back here, so don't think it's not worthy. It's just we're looking at stuff that's current. But even going back to February, the company announces a license agreement with NFT Fly for Celebrity NFT Launchpad. July, the company announces global distribution agreement with Principal Media. In October, the company announces partnership agreement with Threshold Entertainment. You want to know more, dive into each one of these. I don't know how big they are and how much exposure these companies have, except for the next piece of news. I've got an idea here. Universal Media announces partnership with Fox Media and Tubi. Yes, folks. Did I grab that one up? No, I didn't. It is the Fox. They have got one particular show that Fox has picked up and they are putting on Tubi, which is a big network. I think it covers like 64 million residents or something like that. And then the most recent piece of news, which came out August, We're not talking recent here. Universal Media Group embarks on an ambitious venture, unveils a revolutionary social media platform with AI technology, nurturing young musical and dance talents globally. Definitely worth the read. Now, here's the most recent piece of news that came out today. Universal Media has announced strategic partnership with Borders Consulting. They announced a groundbreaking partnership with Borders Consulting. The initial term of this dynamic partnership is set for an initial 6-month period, reflecting the beginning of what is anticipated to be a long and fruitful relationship. The strategic alliance is not just a stepping stone, but a giant leap in Universal Media Group's ambitious efforts to uplist to the NASDAQ. Now, they don't give us a lot of information here. First thing I thought is maybe this company was on the NASDAQ. I haven't done any research. I haven't jumped. You would think they'd put a ticker there if it was. But I haven't done any more research since it just got thrown into the list. But they are talking about uplisting, and this company is supposed to be very beneficial in helping them. They've made deals with Fox, Tubi, and a couple of other companies. Some of that news is old, but those deals are happening right now. That they're building those deals up right now. So they've got a lot of catalysts going on right now. I
It
think,
is on the OTC market, by the way.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
asking. Okay.
yeah, being a pink, right? I think
Yes.
we covered all the bases there. I'm kind of
What
curious.
was there anything from like January 23rd of this year? Thank you for bringing that.
January 23rd.
Hmm.
Well, that news goes up to, it
I
should be
mean,
right about here.
there's some even more from like back in 2021, but that's the most recent like major move that I'm looking at right now. Thank you so
There's
much
a
for bringing
bald
that.
spot
Thank
there.
you.
It's missed on the news.
Say what?
Um, and filings 22. No, no, I do not see anything in January 2023. Not news, not filings.
Huh. Okay.
So let's see what that chart looks like. It sounds like you've got an interesting find over there.
It's actually here we have another interesting one actually. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is the weekly. So I went all the way back and just looked at where we were again. Oh, because I'm interested in that. I want to see like where we've been, where it is
Well, of
relative to
course,
everything
of
else.
course. You know, if you're
Look
looking
for
at a
stock
person
splits.
driving from behind them, you can't tell where they're going, what direction, because every turn, southeast, north. But if you get that helicopter view like you got, you get an
Mm-hmm.
idea of where they're actually heading.
Right. So basically, we have this, consolidation area that's been here the entire time, and we
Again,
did enter that, and I mean these are really good levels here, especially this top one. I'll show you. This is at around 30 cents, give or take. It might not be exactly like 29 something, 28, almost 29 anyway. So this you can tell from this daily chart, it acted as resistance here, resistance, and then it acted as support for a very long time,
yeah, once
and
that
then
200
broke,
got close.
and then now we're breaking out of it again. So we're at a really interesting spot that we've broken out of this level right here. So now we might be on top of it for a while. I don't know if
It
it's going
looks
to go
good to me. It
sideways.
looks
So
potential.
yeah, it's another one with potential. So this is why I was asking about January. This right here is what happened. It opened that day. Well, it had been running for about a month um from the end of December. It started it's run at about 31.5 cents and ran all the way up to $1.12.
And to me, that looks like a technical breakout. It just
Mm-hmm.
finally the 200 got close enough and people got antsy.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't need a catalyst. We do see that on the OTCs.
Yeah, there was a lot of volume that day. I'm not sure what happened here either. Had another run, but it does have potential, and we did just break out of this line here. So this is about the like 29 cents. So we are over that, and we are over the 200 on the daily chart as well. So I mean, this definitely has some potential. The 4 hour looks even nicer actually.
Yep.
I like this one. These we got some good charts today. I like this one. Yeah,
I
this is
think
another
that
one that
that
I
one's got potential. I think it's
definitely.
worth putting on your watch list. She's at that same low area again, that
Mhm.
trench that she keeps coming back to and imminently comes out of, and she
Yep,
looks like she is exiting right now.
it is. This is a good spot. I like it. I like it. Oh, we'll keep an eye on this one. Okay.
All right, I was getting ready here because that was all the pre DD I had set up. So the next one seems to me came from,
Oh, that.
yeah, I think it is yours, Valmore. I think we've got CDIX here. Yep, hot, hot, hot. Okay, let's see what we got. CDIX. Let me close these windows so I'm not confused. There we go. So CDIX finished today at 0014. Oh, yeah. Hot, hot, hot. Look at the gains. 366% gains today, which is jumping 1/10 of a penny. That's what gave it that gain. Jumping 1/10 of a penny gave it 366% gains today. Another pink, pinks. It is current. We've got one green tick, transfer agent. Don't see the verified profile. It's not a deal breaker that it's there, but I don't like to hold on to a stock for too long if it hasn't got validated information. Just food for thought. So let's get some general information here on the company first. I do have the news up here, and they just had filings come out, and the filings look pretty good. I think maybe that's where all the hot came from. Relative volume for the company. Wow, hot. Jumping from 28 million up to 375 million. Now let's see. I'm going to refresh this page, check out our share volume for the OTC market. Under 5 billion today. 5 billion seems to be like the high we do now. 70 billion used to be normal before everything went nuts. Out of 4.5 billion, 12,000 different companies on the OTC. Got to split up all those shares. This company got 375 million of them all to herself. Share structure for CDIX. We got 1.3 billion outstanding. Insiders own more than half of those, 710 million, leaving us a pretty big float, 615 million. And egads, look at the itty bitty market cap they got, 397,000 on their market cap with all those shares. Wow. Let's see if they're making any money. They are making money. Okay. 2021, they were at about 10 million, got to keep 6. 2022, 12 million, got to keep 7.5. They're looking good. Quarterlies, last year they were at 3 million. At the end of last quarter, they were at 3.5 million. Speaking of those quarterly reports, since we're looking at them right now, 3.5 is the last quarter and 3.3 a year ago. Let's see what they say here. 9.8% growth in the company's healthcare division, 3.5 consolidated revenue growth to 3.4 million. 83% growth profit margin, up 64.7% from last year's drove consolidated gross margins. Everything sounds good here. Operating income increased 52%. Money they can use to make more money. That's 2.3 million. Net income increased 415%. This all sounds good. There's more reading that needs to be done here. And is there any other news, or is this the catalyst? We have got that came out yesterday. All they give us are their financials. They don't have any news. No, that's all they ever talk about is their money. This stuff's from 2018. So based on that, let's see if we have anything over here. Okay, we've got a investor, an SC13 is when a new investor comes in, buys enough shares to qualify for ownership in a percentage of the company. This was Leonite Capital. They just got themselves over 100 million shares, got themselves 8.2% of the company. There you go. So you've had another big investor just come in. That's always a nice thing to see. Here's an 8K from today. What's this? Previously, Clove Cardiff issued 2 convertible promissory notes. for 175,000, blah, blah, blah. All right. Nothing seriously there. So they've got a lot of things going on right now. I mean, they do have great financials. They've just had a new investor come in. They've had some huge jumps today. Now, I don't know what the chart looks like. It could be just coming right back down. I'm going to let our chart expert tell us about this. CDIX. What does the chart look like for this one, Taylor?
Oh, hang on. Getting there. All right. Yeah. Vilmore is right. It is very hot right now. So this is crazy. We looked at this on the 26th of October, which was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right, so I will show you. This bottom line
We
was
keep
triple.
looking at it after the pops. We need
What?
to catch it before the
No,
pops.
we caught it, but here's what happened. We caught this, and I'm sure a lot of people were thinking, "Oh, it's over now," because it went from 0001 to 0007 in one day.
700%.
Okay, so here's what happened. Over the next 3 weeks, it came all the way back down to 0002 and hit 0001 on Friday, the November 10th. From there, we are now at 0014.
Over
So,
1,000% run.
so we have talked about this before, and
Elmore, I'm hoping you were in this.
I
I'm
even
sure that
said
you
like
brought
the
this
here
to
this
us.
will be our new resistance at 0007. We just obliterated that over the last couple of days, and even
God.
oh no, the 11th day. Sorry, thought that was daily for a second. My bad. But it did show. I mean, it didn't just out of nowhere. I mean, it we've got a warning. Here's 3 green candles in a row before this giant pop today. So yeah, we talked about it on this day. It
Now, is that
went
the,
all the way
what's the,
back down. This is
what's the
crazy.
4 hour look like? Is she already ripped out well over the 200?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
way over,
Way over. Yeah. So there
way.
wasn't a whole lot of warning there. Normally, I look at the 4 hour chart and I can see she was approaching it. She had that little bit of pullback. Looks like she was going to bounce off of that SMA, but a
Well,
route.
this is when it started, and then it came right back down to this. It even came back down all the way to the floor, which was 0001. Because
God.
I had this marked from the last time we looked at it. Even if it was at 0002, which is right here, we could have picked some up or whatever. And then there, starting on Monday, November uh, 13th, it started moving. So there was plenty of time. I mean, this week, Monday,
Right.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and then today, couldn't have predicted that, but that was what a run. Oh my gosh. From just last Friday, it went all the way back down to 0001 and 0002. And
What's it
then
look like on the
today,
short term? Do you think she's going to just come right back down to the 0001 again?
from this, it looks like it probably will, but I
Well, I mean, on
mean,
the short chart, on that 5 minute chart, does
oh,
it
well,
look like it's just going to fall away?
no, no, it doesn't. But it might be overextended right now in the
You
overbought
think?
territory. Could be. Yeah. But I mean, this is another really good one. I mean, and I gave you those levels when we looked at it, and when it came back down all the way back down to the floor, that would have been a perfect spot to pick some up, just to hold
But
on
I can
to.
appreciate not buying in. I mean, there's so many
Oh no,
stocks.
no, yeah, of course, of course. I
With
was
those
just,
0001s, I
it's
don't know
just
when I bought one the
or a
last
triple
time.
zero two. It's just interesting where we had talked about those levels, and it played out exactly like it
Wow,
had
what a
before,
rip.
plus more. Yeah.
Imagine if you just put a little $100 bill.
Oh,
You're not trying to get rich, but guess what? You do get a nice chunk of cash. That was like a 1,400% rip. $100 would have got you 1,400 bucks.
crazy.
Yeah, and don't get greedy, man. I'd have sold at 1,000. I wouldn't have waited for 1,400. I'll be honest. If it hit 1,000, I would have taken my gains, or at least sold half of it. At least get some of that money in and see if the rest wants to run. Then gamble your freebies. Don't gamble your investment.
Yep.
All right, so she's probably worth a watch because she's got a lot of activity. The volume is ripping on her. That's what we're looking for. There's not a lot of volume in the market. And if you can find a stock getting volume, well, maybe you should pay attention to that stock until nobody else is.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm. That's all I got to say about that chart.
And just to let you know, folks, over here at the OTC markets, you come down to closing summary or current market. It don't matter which. You come down to advancers. I'm presuming that's what you want to look at. Click this all here. Come down to more. Open this up. This has one piece of information I have not been able to find on any other site, and I consider it worth gold. People want to know the price. They want to know the volume. What I want to know is how many people are trading this stock. You may have sold 20 million shares, but was that one big order or was that 10 people? Well, right here, they tell you how many trades it took to get what they've gotten. And you can come over here. There's a 15-minute delay, and you can see all the stocks on the OTC. They start off at the biggest at the top. Double diamonds on the expert. Don't worry about those. And you can scroll down, and we used to have stocks that were getting thousands of trades a day, 400 or 500 a day. That was normal. Not anymore, folks. Look, there's one, 424 trades. Now, I can't tell you that's 424 people, but I can tell you there's a lot more people trading this stock than trading that stock, right? Even if this is each person buying twice, that is 210 people. That's a crowd of people. Look at, thank you, Belmore, CDIX. So you can catch these. This doesn't come up until 15 minutes, maybe 25 minutes after the bell rings. So it doesn't work pre-market. But all through the day, you can come over here and just scroll through here and see which companies are getting the most. That's a double diamond. See which companies are getting attention. There's BOMO. BOMO had a lot of trades going on today. So if you're looking for what stocks are hot, don't just trust the volume. That can be misleading. This isn't misleading. These numbers are hardcore numbers you can use. All right, we've got a request here for Staw. Let's see, who brought Staw up to me? Was this Sticky Man? Can't see you. Yes, no, Jimmy Jean. Jimmy Jean and his sausage. I know. So we just covered Stahl the other day. She's got a lot going on. The chart was hot when we looked at her. Let's get some general information for Stahl first. I'll get rid of that one. Bring you up. I want to keep up that page with the news. Relative volume for the company today is kicking, going from 27 million up to 45 million. On the OTC, pink, they're stealing all them shares at 0045 with just under 10% gains today. Share structure for Stahl. That's not bad for a pink. We got 471 million outstanding. Insiders own some, 167. We have about double that at 300 million. Financials for Stahl. Nothing on the annually, nothing on the quarterly. Balance sheet, 4,000 in the bank. Just about $1 million in assets, just a little over 2 million in liabilities. Again, we're looking at a company that's got us holding deficit of over $1 million. Looking at the disclosures, they have filed late notice. They're going to have their filings out hopefully by the 19th. That buys them 5 days. This one, is this going to be about late financials? No. This is something that they didn't put a news press out on. I would have forgotten this if I hadn't jumped in. Normally, I wouldn't have seen this because it says change of registrant certifying accountant, which doesn't sound like anything to me that I'm interested in. I'm looking for material change. Well, this was a material change. It just hasn't happened yet. It's a memorandum of understanding the company has signed with this company called Nightbridge. Nightbridge is doing something unique with this company. The company works with mining. They mine gold and something else. They've got mines in Honduras, the United States, and Nigeria. They've invented a product called Genesis, which is a special way of getting the gold out of raw ore, out of coal, out of a lot of minerals they're finding out now. And they've hired a company called Lionworks to specifically go around to mining companies and sell that. They've also got a fiber called Biotrox or something like that. That's made out of volcanic rock. It's made out of rock, and they make fibers out of it, soft, pliable fibers that makes clothes stronger than steel, stronger than Kevlar, and it's biodegradable. So they got all that going, and now they're doing this. And there's been a lot of excitement since I posted the video up. Nobody else has talked about this. Knightsbridge would be developing and issuing DGC, a digital gold coin backed by Stahl's gold assets. That is real backing on a coin. There's a lot of talk on Twitter about that. Knightsbridge will also work with Stahl to explore additional opportunities related to digital assets, equity, and derivatives. And they are working with them over in the Asian markets. They're going to take care of all the regulations, the legal stuff. So they've got that all covered. On the other side of the news, they've got other deals that they have just entered into. They agreed to purchase 51% of DigiPro Payments. This is a payment processing program that connects the buyers to the companies online, offline, brick and mortar businesses. There's the deal with Lionworks. This is actually Lionworks working with a mining company that wants to use the Genesis product. They need some more financing. They're working on that right now. And then they've got this one right here, which is pretty exciting. A lot of companies are coming out with educational products. People are abandoning college. Yes, they are. They're saving their money and they're buying online courses, which are just videos they're watching, and the companies are popping up everywhere. They just bought AI English here, which is Learn English. And this breaks it down for 60 different languages. They are working with the Latin American and the Asian countries, I believe it is right now. They have launched in about 60 different countries, and it's AI backed. So it's not just watching a video. It's having it work with you the way you work. And they anticipate this to be a huge market, really big. So when you add up all of their different streams, the company looks like it has a lot of potential right now. I do believe that covers everything. I think I did it well. All right, let's go take a look at the Stahl on the charts. I know I just covered it, and it must still be looking pretty decent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the 4 hour, and I just kind of looked at a few levels.
God,
So
that's,
this has
that's
been running.
beautiful.
Yeah, this has been running all week. So about the end of October, early November, the low was 0008. Now we're over here at 0055 at the top of today's high, which is how much percent? That's crazy to me.
What's the difference? I was checking to see when I
Oh,
actually put the
uh,
video
trip
up.
0008 to 0055.
All right, to 008 is 1,000.
Triple
Uh,
zero eight to 0055.
0055. You're at about 600% gains there.
From 0008 to 0055.
Oh, doubles.
Yeah, you
eh,
lose a zero, or is it still? I don't know.
you keep talking. I'll do the math here. I got a calculator.
Okay, so I'm just
My brain gets tied up sometimes with these numbers.
um
Wow.
So I mean, it looks like obviously we are running and could be a little overextended, but it is maintaining this upwards momentum. It didn't just, have a random pop and then come right back down. Like it is maintaining its price. It's holding these levels, and we're right now at this really important level on the 4 hour, which is the 200 MA. We are right on top of it, literally
Yep.
right on top of it.
600% gains. I was right.
Oh, okay. That's
Keep going. I'm liking it. You've got a good story going there for me. I'm liking your
oh, no, I
story.
was just thinking,
That's a
I'll
pretty
take
good
I was just
play.
thinking I would take 600% gains. That sounds pretty nice to me.
So
But
would you
yeah, this
sell
one,
right now personally? She's at a breakout point. I see more gains coming. Would you personally sell if you were holding this stock right now, or would you let it ride some more?
first it would depend on where I bought in at, how much of it
Well, let's
of
say you bought at the bottom, down there at the bottom at 0008.
I might trim some. If
Yeah,
you've got
yeah, yeah.
600% gains, yeah,
I
that's
trim some, right.
silly.
I
Yeah,
think a lot of people, they think it's
absolutely.
all or nothing. Nobody says you have
No,
to sell
I
it
would take
all.
some off. Yeah,
Just sell
no.
some and get some of that money in your pocket, cover what you put out, and you'll be amazed how much more fun it feels when you're ahead of the game instead of balancing it, hoping for the best. Take the pressure off of yourself. Take some of that money, put it in there, and then play with your charts, play with the rest. But yeah, trimming it. Because to me, I think she's got more to give right now. That to me is drool worthy.
I mean, if you get 600% gains, you could sell just, a fourth of it. That would more than cover your initial investment, and you
Right.
just let the rest run if you really wanted to. But absolutely, I would take some of my profit at this point. Yep, I would for sure. No
What's
question.
a shorter chart look like?
Say what? Oh, like a 1 hour?
Oh, well, even a 10-minute, something to
How
play
about
tomorrow.
how about 15 minute?
Well, she's respecting that 50 now, ain't she? She was
Mm-hmm.
floating above it and she's come down to it. And
We're right
it
at
looks
it.
like, if you look at the long chart behind you, she pays a heed to that 50. That's where she keeps landing with when she comes back
Yeah.
down, she's on that 50.
Yeah, there's lots of those.
It looks like a potential bounce here. I know I'm an optimist. I'm a
Yeah.
bullish person,
Well, it
but
happened right here, so yeah, it absolutely could. This has happened several times, especially or most recently right there, which was just last week.
and the bottom line is they're just coming into their catalyst, which is going to start bringing them money. I mean, things are just now beginning. But you got to remember when a stock takes a surge, it's rocketing, it may fall back down to earth. It doesn't mean it's a time to abandon it. It means
Mm,
adjust your position. If you believe in the company, if you think things are good, when it tumbles down, adjust your position. If you had a hold and you can average down, if you really believe it's going to go up, definitely average down. Don't scare yourself because the market's taking profits. There's a lot of that going on right now.
yeah, and also on the opposite of that, even if you love a company, don't feel guilty about taking profits and selling some of it. Take your profits because you're going to kick yourself if you don't. More
That's
than you
it's
would
funny.
if it ran more than when you did
Now
take profits.
I
I'm telling you,
understand
you
that
will.
now. When I first got into trading, I would feel guilty. I'd be building up a stock saying, yeah, I'm going to hold this one. But then she'd have this big run and I'd say, oh, I don't know. But now I am not attached to any stock. You can't say anything about a company and offend me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You can say anything you want, and I'm not going to come at you because you said that about my company. No.
Mhm.
And I will sell it in a heartbeat if it means I got profit. I'm not loyal to any company unless they're making me money. Then you've got my attention. But I'll take my money whenever I want to. You're not going to hold it forever. That's why I'm here to make a gain. All right,
Okay,
I
so
think we
that was
got
it.
a little more time here. We're going to run over a little bit, folks, if you don't mind. We don't have any time limits here. We're not paying by the minute. We've got another one here, and I have not had a chance to jump into any of these, but Sarah Gibson. Hello, Sarah. You brought yours in later. We normally wouldn't have got to this, but we're going to take a look at Blink. Blink, I do believe this is a EV charging company. Let's take a look here. The best way to find out is to hit their link here, and we'll see. Leading the future of EV charging stations. So that's their business. So what I don't know a lot about them, and we're not going to dive into here, but I just wanted to verify that Car Charging is leading owner, operator, provider of electric EV charging equipment. They don't mention any countries they're in here. All right, we'll start this off by looking at the relative volume. There was a jump in that. We got over 200% increase, 2.7 jumping to 6.2 million shares. I don't know. I'm going to presume this is on the NASDAQ. Again, no tier. Every time I check, it's on the NASDAQ.
It is on the Nasdaq.
Thank you very much. She's at $4.23 right now. She's trying to get out of Pennyville. She had a little bit of a drop, about 5% roughly. Share structure for the company is not bad. Don't know what the float is. Outstanding share count is about 64 million. Float could be anywhere up to that, or it could be considerably less. Market cap at 284 million. Now Blink should be making money. They are. and it's been growing every single year, starting off at 2.7 million in 2019. Even through COVID, they were taking gains. And right now, at the end of 2022, they're at 61 million. They're getting to keep about 15 million of that. On the quarterly, yes, sir. They had a little dip right there, but a nice jump right there. Dropped a million between 2022's last quarter and the first quarter of 2023, but then jumped about 10 million here in the sixth month of 2023, June. Now, did they bring out a financial here? Because we haven't checked yet. All right, refresh that page. No news. Don't you hate that? Let's see what we got over here for filings. They did just have a financial come out. They were late on it. Well, see, now what's the point of that? They file a late notice on the 13th and then file their filings on the 13th. All right, let's see what we can learn here real quick. We'll just try to get a few basic numbers here because there's a lot of information in these. Total assets from December till now have gone up a little bit to 365,000. They just jumped 3,000. Nothing real changed there. 3-month revenues, product sales, 35. Are we adding zeros to these? Thousands, yes. 35 million at the end of September 2023 compared to a year ago of 13. So we're up, 250% over last year. On the 9-month, 76 to 30 million. So year over year, things are growing nicely. Let's see, quarter over quarters. No, they don't show those here. This is net loss, 112. Net losses are increasing though. So as revenues are going up, they are losing more money. So they're going to have to tweak that. A lot more information in here, folks. We would have to jump in to find out what's going on deeply. This is an 8K. This is about their financial operations. Sometimes you can find a news press inside here, like we just did. Now, why it's not released, why we can't find the news press over at the news, I don't know, but they've got it here. Company raises their 2023 revenue target to 128 to 130 million. So they've raised that. Adjusted EBITDA to break even run rate for December 2024. I've got a lot of numbers here, folks. You need to dive into this and read it. We don't have the time to go through it all, but obviously it looks like people weren't completely happy with it. We had a drop, but I haven't seen the chart. She may have taken a jump and come back down. Anything else we got here? I think we've covered everything, the financials and the volume and the share structure, right? We got to it all. Yes, we did, right? Share structure, we did. So let's go take a look at the chart for BLNK.
Okay. Here we go. Whoops. Wrong tab.
I was going to say that didn't look too bad.
Sorry about that. So, this is the weekly. I just kind of went back to see where we were, where we've been. Gosh, I do remember trading this back in like early 2021 when it was, yeah, like amazing, and it has just fallen completely. It's crazy because I definitely remember trading this when it was in the $40-$50 range,
Oh
and
my
n-
God.
yeah, and now we're at the $4. But see, it's starting to come back up now.
Was that a
Uh,
reverse merger or something there?
uh, oh, I don't know
Because it
why.
looked like it ripped off the floor of nothing to this real super high, which is probably exaggerated. You know, it was a lot of speculation and excitement because $50 and it's down to what right now?
In for geez, at the end of October, it was at $2.22. Looks like here. Yeah. So
900% increase.
yeah, so I think it started running after it must I mean, obviously it started running after their earnings report.
Yep.
So their revenue beat by a lot, 45% over their estimate. Their
There you
earnings were
go.
not that good. Yeah, their earnings weren't that good, but their revenue had a great, 45% surprise to the positive side. And They probably, I'm assuming I didn't hear this report, but I'm assuming they, had some positive forward guidance and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, they
uh,
raised the guidance.
yeah, okay. So then after that, it just started running. It actually gapped up the very next day. If you zoom in on here, these are regular candles, by the way, since this is
Right. If you see any space between them, they're regular.
yeah. So, well, I can see the gaps better when, or you can see them.
True. True.
Yeah. So there's a gap right here. You can. I mean, I already have a rectangle, so I don't know how this is going to work, but right there you can see it. So, like right there, you can see there's a gap right there. So, we'll see if it'll come back down and fill that. But it's just been, I mean, running isn't even, it's just gapping up every single day. I mean, it came back down to like yesterday's low, but I mean, it's just been these candles are enormous. I mean, we're talking an opening at 302 and closing at 344. That doesn't sound like a lot, but percentage wise, that's a big number.
Can you
So,
show us a 5-minute chart on that one?
sure. This was from
Mm.
today.
Ah, yeah. All right. So your profit takers came in, and then you had the bulls thinking they were going to pick it back up, but that's not what's happening.
Yeah, so this was like pre-market hours and then this happened and it just kind of came back down. So reached a high of about 465 today and now we're at about 412.
Yeah, that's looking like she is starting to give away a lot of that run. I'd keep my eye on that. That's a serious drop at the end of the day. She had a lot of big drops today.
Hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
there's
just
that 50, right. She may bounce off of that 50. She got a history of doing that. Yeah, she
I'm
does.
looking at, so this is the 1 hour. I just wanted to see what was going
Yep.
on with the crazy volume and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's coming back down, but it's like it's done that a few times. It's got to kind of, I mean, it came way down here and then, came halfway back up too. So, I mean, it looks like it's kind of just running out of steam. Uh, we could just use some more volume because you can see this volume dropping off and
Yeah.
more selling volume. So,
Yeah.
um, but I mean, something to keep an eye on, especially since it we know it does run, and it does run quite a bit because it used to be 50 something dollars, and that has nothing to do with any kind of split or anything. It was actually 50 something dollars, and now it's all the way back down to four. So anyway,
Well, we are definitely over 5 o'clock, and I'm not going to look at anymore, but I'm looking at your comments here. And let me grab that and get that out of our pace. Niche is filing their S1 to uplist. That's what they're working on right now. So Niche has got a catalyst. People are watching her. Anytime can get off the OTC, it's a good thing. Dish, I have heard rumors of Dish merging with DirecTV, but I haven't pursued anything, but I've heard the buzz out there. People are talking about it. You heard anything about that, Taylor? Dish and DirecTV merging?
I heard something about it, but rumors. I didn't see anything
Right.
concrete about it.
Which chart was she just speaking about? Hmm.
Which one?
I don't know which
Blink?
chart you were.
Blink?
Blink. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay, the one we were just talking about was Blink.
Yeah.
She liked the chart setup. Which company were we talking about? You said you liked the chart setup.
That was
Was it?
INTZ. That was the first one we looked at.
There you go. There you go. Made it from the mountaintop. Hey, Stuart, good to see you. No, we don't have time to look at BBAI, another AI company. AI is still worth watching, folks. I haven't looked at BBAI in a while, Stuart. I need to take a look at that one. Just got back in. Did you guys look at DWAC? Dude,
We did not.
DWAC isn't a penny stock. We're penny stock traders here. Any stock under $5, doesn't matter what market it's on. We'll look at it. DWAC, I think, is roughly $16 right now. I think she was taking a jump today. I saw Trump was in the news again today. They kind of go hand in hand here. I don't know if they're still planning that merger with Truth or whoever it was. Michael, you're a little late, pal. JOB. We won't get a chance to look at that. He says it has no debt, which paid off 108 million of debt over 2 years with a book value of 97 with upgrades to $2. Sounds like something we should take a look at. Michael's been doing some due diligence on it. I appreciate you sharing that with us, pal. Wow, CHPT just dropped 20% in 2 minutes. CHPT. I was looking at that one. I'm going blank on it right now. Can't remember what it was. Holy cow, look at all the comments we got here, folks. I appreciate all your comments. I appreciate you folks being here late or early. Thanks for coming in, folks. LLAP. Jason, I just covered that a little while ago. We don't have time to cover it now. PED, can you take a look at it, which is an oil and natural gas with no debt? Michael, you're doing a lot of work here too. Thanks, folks, for bringing all these tickers in. You're sharing them not just with me, but with a lot of other people. When you put that DD in there, you're sharing it with all of us. And there's no need to keep it secret. It's not like, we want to keep this all to ourselves, is it? The more people that get in, the better it is for all of us. So thanks for being here. Thanks for being back, Taylor. And is it next week we're actually going to see Taylor?
Next week is Thanksgiving.
Oh, right. It's my day off.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. Week after that.
I think it's the week after that.
All right, folks. This is going to be a debut for Taylor. We've had her on the show for quite a while, and she has never given us a real live picture. We've always had this pretty bicentennial hat picture.
Now I have it in the Penny Voice server before several times.
No, I'm talking here. We got
not here. Yeah, you're right.
Here.
You're right. Not here. I have not.
Debut, and I'm going to put that on our post. A debut of Taylor.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now the pressure's on.
Have fun, folks. We look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. I was going to say we'd be back next week, but Taylor's keeping me in line. Thanks, folks. I appreciate doing this show just for you. We'll see you then. See ya.
Bye.